On a quiet morning in a small town, a lonely cat named Lily was wandering in search of food. Her soft paws touched the cold ground and her hungry eyes searched every corner. She was tired, weak, and had no one to take care of her. Life had become a constant struggle for survival. On the other side of the same street, a dog named Max was sitting outside a bakery. Max was not like other dogs. He was calm, thoughtful, and had a kind heart. He noticed Lily walking slowly, her eyes filled with sadness. Something in her face touched Max's heart deeply. Lily stopped for a moment, looked at Max, and then lowered her eyes as if afraid of rejection. But Max, instead of barking like most dogs would, wagged his tail gently. That small gesture surprised Lily. It was the first time in many days that someone had shown her kindness. Gathering courage, Lily moved a little closer. Max pushed a small piece of bread toward her with his nose. Lily hesitated for a moment, but then took the bread. She looked at Max with thankful eyes, as if she wanted to say, "Thank you, you saved me today." That was the beginning of their friendship. A cat and a dog, two creatures who are usually seen as enemies, shared a small moment of kindness that changed their lives. That morning was not just about food. It was about hope, trust, and the start of a new bond. From that day on, Lily and Max's lives would never be the same. After their very first meeting, the dog and the cat still had doubts about each other. The cat thought, "Dogs are always loud and rough, maybe he will hurt me one day." The dog, on the other hand, thought, "Cats are sneaky and selfish, maybe she will never be my true friend." But time slowly started to change their hearts. One sunny morning, the dog found a small piece of bread and instead of eating it alone, he pushed it toward the cat. The cat was surprised. No one had ever shared food with her before. She quietly ate it and whispered, "Thank you." It was a very small moment, but it became the first brick in the wall of trust. The next day, the cat saw the dog lying tired under a tree. She found some water in an old bowl nearby and gently pushed it towards him. The dog drank it happily and felt a strange warmth in his heart. He thought, maybe this cat is different, maybe she really cares. Day by day, they started doing little things for each other, sharing food, sitting together under the shade, and protecting each other from other street animals. These small acts built a bridge of trust between them. Trust is not built in a single day. It takes patience, kindness, and care. The dog and the cat learned that when two hearts open slowly, step by step, a true friendship begins to grow. Trust is built with small, consistent actions, not with big promises. One evening, dark clouds covered the sky. The wind was strong, and soon heavy rain began to fall. The cat, who hated water, was shivering under a broken wooden box. The dog saw her and quickly ran to cover her with his own body. He got wet, but he didn't care. The cat looked up and thought, "Why is he protecting me when he himself is cold and wet?" That moment changed something inside her heart. She realized that true friendship means standing with someone even in hard times. Later, when the rain stopped, both were hungry. The dog had no food and the cat was too weak to search. But instead of resting, the dog went far away, found a small piece of fish, and brought it back for the cat. She ate half and gave the other half back to him. For the first time, they shared a meal equally. A few days later, a group of bigger street dogs tried to attack the cat. She was afraid, but the dog stood in front of her bravely, barking loudly to protect her. Surprisingly, the cat also showed courage. She scratched the ground and hissed to scare the attackers. Together, they made the enemies run away. They realized something important. When you face challenges together, you become stronger. Alone, they were weak. But when united, they could overcome fear, hunger, and danger. Moral of this part: true friends never leave you when life gets hard. They fight with you, not against you. After many days of struggle, life slowly started to get better for the cat and the dog. One bright morning, the sun was shining, and the streets looked clean after last night's rain. The cat climbed up a small wall and looked around with joy, while the dog wagged his tail happily. That day, the dog found a small loaf of bread near a bakery. Normally, a street dog would eat it quickly before anyone else came. But this time, he carried it gently to the cat. She smiled and said, "You always think of me first." She then tore the bread into 2 equal pieces. Both of them sat together under a tree, eating and enjoying the warm sunlight. Later, the cat discovered a bowl of yarn near a shop. She started playing with it, jumping here and there. The dog laughed at her funny moves. Then she pushed the yarn ball towards him. At first, the dog didn't understand how to play with it, but soon both of them were chasing it happily. People passing by stopped to watch and smiled at the unusual friendship. Even small moments became special because they shared them together. Whether it was food, games, or simply sitting quietly under the sky, they learned that happiness grows double when shared. Real happiness is not in having more, but in sharing what you already have with someone you care for. One evening, the dog and the cat were walking near the edge of the city. Suddenly, they heard loud barking. A group of stray dogs surrounded them. Those dogs were bigger, stronger, and didn't like strangers in their area. The leader of the group growled at the cat and said, "Why are you walking with a dog? Cats and dogs can never be friends." The little dog stood in front of the cat, protecting her. His legs were shaking, but his heart was full of courage. He barked loudly to show he would not run away. The cat was afraid, but she didn't leave him. She climbed onto a nearby fence and started hissing, trying to scare the attackers. The 2 of them stood together against many enemies. After a tense moment, a man came from the street and shouted at the stray dogs. They ran away, leaving the cat and dog safe. That night, the cat asked, "Why didn't you leave me? You could have escaped." The dog replied, "Real friendship means staying together, especially in danger. If I ran away, I would lose you forever." The cat's eyes filled with tears. She realized their bond was not just fun or food, it was true loyalty tested by danger. True friends prove themselves in hard times, not in comfort. One cold winter morning, the dog found a piece of bread near a shop. He was very hungry, but when he saw the cat shivering with weakness, he carried the bread to her. The cat was surprised. She said, "But you are hungry too. Why don't you eat first?" The dog smiled and replied, "A true friend sometimes sacrifices his own comfort for someone he cares about. If you eat, I will be happy." The cat slowly ate and her strength returned. She felt warmth in her heart, much stronger than the bread could give. That day she decided to never leave the dog hungry again. Later, when the dog was thirsty, the cat guided him to a hidden place where clean water was flowing. She said, "Today you gave me food, now I give you water." This is how friendship grows, by sharing, by giving, and by caring. Both of them realized that sacrifice makes relationships stronger. It is not always about taking, but about giving with love. Real friendship is built on sacrifice, where both hearts care for each other. One evening, dark clouds covered the sky. The wind blew hard and heavy rain started to fall. The little cat was scared. She ran under a broken wooden cart, trembling with fear. The dog quickly noticed her. Instead of hiding alone, he rushed toward the cart and stood beside her. The cat looked at him with worried eyes and said, "The storm is too strong. What if we don't survive?" The dog gently put his paw on her shoulder and replied, "Don't be afraid. If we face it together, no storm can break us." Hours passed. The wind howled, trees shook, and thunder roared, but the 2 friends stayed close, protecting each other. When water began to flow under the cart, the dog used his body as a shield so the cat could stay dry. Finally, the storm ended. The sky cleared and the sun came out again. The cat whispered with tears in her eyes, "I would have been lost without you." The dog smiled and said, "And I would have been lonely without you. Together we are stronger than any storm." True friendship gives courage in the darkest times. When hearts stand side by side, even the biggest storm becomes small. One morning the cat found a small piece of meat lying near the market. She was very hungry and quickly picked it up in her mouth. Just then the dog came and saw her. The dog asked kindly, "Where did you get that from?" The cat hesitated. She thought about lying, but then she remembered the trust they had built together. She looked down and said softly, "I found it near the market. I don't know whose it is. Maybe it belongs to someone." The dog nodded and replied, "I'm proud of you for telling the truth. Honesty is more valuable than food." The cat felt both shy and happy. She asked, "But what should we do now?" The dog suggested, "Let's return it. If it belongs to someone, they will be glad. If not, we can share it later without guilt." Together they walked back to the market. They asked around, but no one claimed the meat. In the end, they shared it equally and ate with peaceful hearts. That day, the cat realized that honesty not only saves friendship, but also brings peace of mind. Honesty may be hard in the moment, but it always leads to peace, trust, and respect. One hot afternoon, the cat was trying to climb a big wall to reach some fresh fruits hanging from a tree. She tried again and again, but slipped every time. Her small paws could not hold the rough surface. The dog saw her struggle and came closer. He said kindly, "Don't give up. Let me help you." The dog bent down and asked the cat to climb on his back. With his support, the cat finally reached the top of the wall. She picked some fruits and threw them down so the dog could eat too. Later that evening, the dog's paw got stuck in a thorn bush while walking. He barked in pain. The cat immediately rushed to him and carefully pulled out the thorns with her small, sharp teeth. The dog felt better and wagged his tail happily. Both of them realized that true friendship means helping each other in times of difficulty. When one is weak, the other becomes strong. Real friends never leave each other alone in trouble. They stand together and make life easier. One evening, dark clouds covered the sky. Soon, strong winds began to blow and heavy rain started pouring down. The sound of thunder and lightning made the whole village shake with fear. The cat was sitting under a small tree shivering. The rain was so strong that she was getting wet and cold. She felt helpless and scared. The dog noticed her from a distance. Without thinking twice, he ran through the rain and stood beside her. He said, "Don't be afraid, come with me." He guided the cat to a safe place under an old wooden shed. They both stayed close to each other, trying to stay warm while the storm raged outside. During that long night, they shared not only a shelter, but also courage. The cat realized that even in the darkest times, she was not alone because she had a loyal friend by her side. The dog too understood that friendship is not just about playing together in the sun, but also about standing strong together during storms. True friendship gives strength in the hardest times. A real friend never leaves you alone in fear. The next morning after the storm, the sun shone brightly. The village looked fresh, but both the cat and the dog were very hungry. They had not eaten properly the whole night. The dog found a piece of bread near the shed. He could have eaten it alone, but he remembered how the cat had suffered during the storm. Instead, he gently placed the bread in front of her and said, "Let's share it." The cat's eyes filled with gratitude. She broke the bread into 2 small pieces. Both of them ate happily, even though the food was little. The joy of sharing made the small meal feel bigger and sweeter. That day, the cat and dog understood something very important. Food may finish quickly, but the happiness of sharing never ends. Sharing makes hearts closer. When you give, you don't lose. Instead, you gain love and respect. Days passed and life in the village returned to normal, but challenges never stopped coming. Sometimes there was heavy rain, sometimes no food, and sometimes other animals caused trouble. One evening, a group of crows attacked the cat. She was small and weak compared to them. But the dog quickly jumped in, barking loudly. The crows flew away in fear. The cat felt safe again. Another time, the dog got stuck in the mud while chasing a rabbit. The cat ran to him and meowed loudly, calling the farmer's children for help. Together, they pulled the dog out. Through these moments, the cat and dog realized that facing problems together makes them easier to solve. Alone they were weak, but together they were strong. True friends don't run away during difficulties. They stand by each other, making every challenge easier to face. One day, the cat became overconfident. She thought she could catch a fish from the farmer's pond without any problem. Quietly, she jumped near the water and tried to grab the fish. But suddenly, she slipped and fell into the pond. The cat could not swim well and began to panic. Hearing her cries, the dog ran quickly and pulled her out. The cat was shivering and embarrassed. She said, "I should have asked you for help instead of acting alone." The dog smiled kindly and said, "It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that we learn from them." From that day, the cat realized that being proud or overconfident can bring danger. She also understood the value of teamwork and asking for advice. Mistakes are a part of life. A wise person learns from mistakes and becomes stronger. As days passed, the dog and the cat started achieving small goals together. They caught mice from the barn, protected the garden from birds, and even kept the yard clean. Every time they succeeded, they celebrated in their own little way, sometimes by sharing a meal or playing around in the fields. The cat said one evening, "We may not be perfect, but we are improving every single day." The dog replied with a smile, "Small victories lead to big successes. Every step forward is something to be proud of." These moments of celebration built a stronger bond between them. They understood that success doesn't only mean big achievements. Even small progress deserves to be noticed and appreciated. Always celebrate small wins. They give you strength and hope to achieve bigger dreams. Life was not always easy for the dog and the cat. There were days when food was scarce, the weather was harsh, or bigger animals tried to scare them away. But instead of blaming each other, they stood together. One cold winter night, when the barn roof was leaking, the dog said, "Don't worry, we will fix this together." The cat, shivering but hopeful, replied, "Yes, because together we are stronger." They worked side by side, finding ways to solve every problem. When they failed, they tried again without giving up. Their teamwork turned every difficulty into a lesson and made their bond even stronger. Real strength lies in unity. When you face challenges together, nothing is impossible. One day, a small misunderstanding created distance between the dog and the cat. The dog accidentally ate the food the cat had saved, and the cat felt betrayed. For a while, they stopped talking, and the warmth of their friendship seemed to fade. But as the days passed, they both realized something important. Mistakes happen, but friendship is too precious to lose over small things. The dog humbly said, "I am sorry, I should have asked." The cat, with a soft smile, replied, "It's okay, I forgive you. Friends are meant to understand each other." From that day on, they promised never to let anger stay for too long. Forgiveness made their bond even stronger, teaching them that love and patience are keys to lasting relationships. Forgiveness is a bridge that heals broken hearts and keeps relationships alive. One cold winter evening, food in the house was almost finished. The cat had not eaten for 2 days and was feeling weak. The dog noticed this but didn't say a word. The next morning, when the dog found the only piece of bread left, it quietly placed it in front of the cat and said, "You eat first, I'll manage somehow." The cat's eyes filled with tears. It realized that true friendship is not about always sharing happiness, but also about standing by each other in difficult times. The dog stayed hungry that day, but felt peace in its heart, knowing that its friend was safe and fed. From that day onward, the cat always respected the dog even more, promising itself that it would never let its friend suffer alone again. True friendship means sacrifice, giving without expecting anything in return. One evening, dark clouds filled the sky and a heavy storm was on its way. The dog quickly barked, "We need to find shelter before it gets worse." The cat, scared and shivering, stayed close to the dog as they ran through the fields. They found an old broken shed and hid inside. The roof leaked, the floor was wet, and the wind howled like a hungry wolf. The cat curled up next to the dog, trembling. The dog gently wrapped its tail around the cat and said softly, "Don't worry, I'm here. We'll face this storm together." Hours passed, the storm raged on, but they stayed close, sharing warmth and courage. When the morning light finally broke through, they stepped out together, wet but safe, realizing that their bond had only grown stronger. True friends don't leave you when life gets hard, they stand by you through the storm. One bright morning, everything felt normal. The cat woke up early, stretched, and went to find the dog as it did every day. But today, the dog was lying quietly under the old tree, not moving, not barking, not wagging its tail. The cat nudged the dog gently. "Wake up! We have to explore the fields today." But the dog didn't wake up. Its eyes were closed and its body was still. Tears welled up in the cat's eyes as it realized that its best friend had left this world. The cat sat silently by the dog for hours, remembering every moment they had shared. The adventures, the laughter, the storms they had faced together. The field that once felt full of joy now felt empty and cold. From that day, the cat would sit by the old tree every evening, watching the sunset, whispering softly, "I miss you, my friend. Life is short and nothing lasts forever. Treasure the moments you have with the ones you love, because one day they may only live in your memories." Even though the dog was no longer there, its memories and the lessons it left behind stayed with the cat forever. The cat realized that true friendship is about love, loyalty, and kindness, not about what someone can give you, but about the bond you share. It learned that helping others, being patient, and forgiving mistakes make life more meaningful. Every morning, when the sun rose, the cat would look at the horizon and smile softly, remembering how the dog used to wake it up for new adventures. And every evening, under the old tree, the cat would whisper, "Thank you for teaching me how to love." The story of the cat and dog became a tale of love and friendship that other animals in the village shared with their little ones, teaching them that kindness lives on, even when friends are gone. Love, kindness, and loyalty never die. They live forever in the hearts of those who remember. Thank you for watching this heart-touching story of friendship and love. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. And yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming emotional and inspiring stories. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Drop your favorite part of the story in the comments below and let's talk about it.